So now we move on to offsets. So offsets are controversial mainly because, as you know, most people just skip the first two parts of crop and go right to the third part where they just buy carbon offsets. The other thing is that people don't buy good, credible carbon offsets. It's very important that they're validated, verified, and certified. So think of it systematically. Think of it as the third step, buy good offsets, and don't, you know, we really try to steer companies, and you see companies like Microsoft moving away from just buying carbon offsets and starting looking at reducing their own carbon on their own before just, you know, buying credits. Credits are important, they work really well, but we need to use them as a system. You can go on carbonfootprint.com or any other calculator to make sure they're validated, verified, and certified. On to produce your own clean energy. We want to think of this as the fourth step. You can make solar margaritas. You can have all kinds of fun with alternative energy. But we want to think about it, again, systematically. So, solar electric is on the left or the right? Left. Solar thermal, or solar hot water, is on the right. Do you see, everybody see how different those two look? Which one's more cost effective? Anybody know?
Hot water.
Awesome, you guys are so on it. Most people don't even know. They don't even know the difference between the two panels. It's, you know, a quick payoff on solar hot water. Now we want to talk about crop again. We want to think about the R, reducing your carbon footprint. You want to calculate, then you want to reduce, 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 reduce. I would say for the average person in this room, it's going to take about 5 years for you to reduce your carbon footprint in half. At that point, you take all your energy savings because you've done all those low-cost or no-cost items, you put them in a little savings account, and at that point, then you buy your solar panels because, one, you've saved up the money, and two, you have to put on half the panels that you originally did. Now, carbon footprint of solar panels is fairly high. So if you can put on half the solar panels, you've again reduced your carbon footprint by putting up half of those panels. So this is the common thing. Everybody comes up to me, Allison, I'm so excited I'm putting on solar panels and I'm buying new windows. And I'm like, bummer. Because you just spent $35,000 and you saved 1 ton of carbon. Now, if you did all the silly little things that we're talking about, low-cost or no-cost solutions, you've spent no money and you've saved 3 tons. This is why it's so important to crop your life, crop your business, crop your events, crop your government, and get people to start thinking about the process in a different way. So you can also put solar panels on your school, but of course you want to go through the same cropping process, meeting with your schools, showing them how to calculate their carbon footprint, showing your governments how to do this. Then there's, of course, you know, some great tax breaks right now for corporations and for individuals. This is Patagonia Corporate Parking. They wanted shade and they got renewable energy with some great subsidies. The ski company I work for, Head, they produce all the energy for their ski manufacturing with microhydro. Microhydro has a low carbon footprint if it's already an existing dam, and it is very cost effective. I love Jiminy Peak. Anybody from Massachusetts here?
Yeah.
Yeah, the first ski area in the US, I think first ski area in North America to put a wind turbine on its own ski area to generate its own power. Because I love skiing, I had to throw that in there. So now where's my carbon footprint today? It's almost in half by doing all those low-cost, no-cost things. And then at the very end, last year I put those solar panels up, the electric ones. The solar thermal I put up years ago because they were more cost-effective. So I'm still a long way from that 2 tons. I'm really working now on the food, reducing my transportation by biking more, carrying my own gear, all the little things, but I've still got a long way to go to that 2 tons. But the nice thing is if you can change your brain set, if you can look at climate change as a way to be cost effective. When I talk to whole rooms of Republicans, they practically cheer and clap and give standing ovations because I'm talking about being cost effective. to them, they really understand this message that you can save the planet, you can improve your business's bottom line, you can save money. So what can we leave our kids? Obviously, we're all here on Climate Ride because we don't want to leave this for our kids. But we all have to examine our own lives and do the best we can, and to really spread this message about how people can change their mindset instead of throwing darts at being green. So I founded the Save Our Snow Foundation so that I can actually travel around the world and give this talk to businesses, governments, schools especially. One of my biggest efforts is in schools. So we try to raise money so to keep this going and let this go viral.